Do you know what this is? Let's take a look at a fan's phone. What on earth has it been through? The entire rear camera bezel has been ground down, and there's a big gap between the screen and the frame. Everyone in the comments, what do you think happened to this phone? Honestly, I feel sorry for it. Now let's look at the front screen, which is also ruined. This phone must have been bought not too long ago. While looking at the 3 steel rings being ground down, the rear camera has also been damaged. We all know that randomly replacing the rear camera will cause pop-up messages. Here, you can see the front camera is also damaged. So what exactly did this phone go through? According to the fan's description, their data is very important. Let's first turn on the screen. Some people quietly watch the video, but they quietly like, comment, share, and follow. These people are just so lovely. The moment I turned on the screen, I was completely shocked. There's a lot of dust inside the phone and shattered glass pieces. The front camera, the ambient light sensor, and the infrared camera are all damaged. According to the fan's description, the phone can still turn on. So, first, we take off this damaged screen, then disconnect the battery's flex cable, and then disconnect the display, touch, and sensor flex cables to remove the screen. I must say iPhone screens are getting thinner. The inner screen is as thin as an A4 sheet of paper. For such severely damaged phones, we need to check if the motherboard is leaking electricity. Putting on the power meter, we find that the boot-up current jumps are all normal, indicating there is no leakage on the motherboard. To further confirm other issues, we need to get a screen to test it. The fan chose to replace it with an original screen, so we use an original screen for testing. After connecting the battery, we turn on the phone, confirming that the phone can turn on. Does this mean there are no other issues? Not necessarily. We first test the Wi-Fi and baseband. The Wi-Fi is normal, and since there is a SIM card inside, it already shows signal strength going to about this phone. Because the screen has not run diagnostics, the position prompt is missing, which is normal, but the Face ID has also shown problems. This 256GB domestic iPhone 15 Pro Max. We then test the front and rear cameras. We find that none of the rear cameras open. Switching to the front, the screen is also black and accompanied by the flashlight and torch not opening. Then, we go to the settings to see if there are any abnormal reboot records. Okay, we found some, with a Panic 4 starting reboot log file. From our experience, this is usually caused by external components. We turn off the phone. Can the front and rear cameras be repaired? Everyone knows that the rear camera, front camera, and Face ID components are encrypted. Random replacements not only cause pop-up messages, but also result in no Face ID function. We start by removing the earpiece component, unscrew several large screws securing the motherboard, disconnect the power button flex cable, the bottom antenna, the tail plug flex cable, and remove the SIM card tray. Take out the front camera and Face ID components. Due to deformation, they are very difficult to remove. The 3 most important components are the infrared camera. The other 2 can be repaired. We find all 3 cameras are completely shattered. After removing the rear camera, we see that the periscopic lens of the 15 Pro Max's rear camera is quite large, and its internal photoreceptor components are completely shattered. This camera is already scrapped. How can we replace the rear camera without causing a pop-up message? We continue to look. Continue by removing the LiDAR and the motherboard. The 15 Pro series has flex cables on the back of the motherboard. Disconnect these flex cables to remove the motherboard. We closely inspect the motherboard for any cracks or deformations. Luckily, the motherboard is fine. Continue by removing the vibrator and speaker. After that, we can remove the battery adhesive to take out the battery. We find the back of the battery is also very dirty, with lots of small glass shards. Here, we've removed all the encrypted components from inside the case. We need to try to repair the front and rear cameras. Given the condition of the rear camera, it's beyond repair. So we choose to replace it directly. Then we look at the front camera and Face ID components. We need to separate the front to see if the infrared and flood illuminators are damaged. If they are intact, we can simply remove them and replace the cap to restore Face ID functionality. We use a grinder to grind. Then, open the back metal plate to remove the infrared and dot matrix components. We need to separate further. After separation, we remove the cap and sadly find the internal chips are shattered. In such cases, Face ID is beyond saving unless we replace it with a brand new official Face ID component, which is very expensive. We take out a pure OEM disassembled frame and install the fan's original LiDAR. Clean the speaker and vibrator, and install them. After installation, we continue to clean the dust off the motherboard, then clean the dust and glass shards above the battery and inside the battery compartment, then install the motherboard into the new case. Connect the back flex cable. Screw in the large screws to secure the motherboard and connect all external components to the motherboard. After consulting with the fan, the decision is to directly replace a disassembled front assembly. And for the rear camera, we can currently replace it with a disassembled one without causing pop-up messages. After installing the front and rear, we clean the earpiece component and reinstall it. Clean the dust again, then apply new adhesive to the battery. Use a roller to secure the battery and its adhesive, then install the battery again using the roller. Clean the adhesive residue around the case, then apply a new waterproof adhesive. Install a brand new full round screen. Connect the sensor flex, the screen flex, and the battery flex. Clean the metal plate. Reinstall it, and use the brand new screws included in the box for installation. Perform another dust cleaning, remove the protective adhesive from the waterproof adhesive, close the screen, and we don't rush to screw in the tail screws. Place the phone in a pressure tool to better bond the screen to the frame adhesive. After the pressure is successful, take out the phone and screw in the 2 tail screws. Now we first turn on the phone. After turning on, you'll find that although the screen has been replaced with an original one, if not diagnosed, it still doesn't show the original material and won't indicate genuine parts. The rear is returned to normal. Then we test the front and find the front camera still doesn't open. Do you know why? And about this phone, you'll notice there are no pop-up messages for the rear camera. To solve the front camera issue, we need to back up the data and then give the phone a fresh install for the front camera to function properly. That means replacing the front camera requires a system restore to work properly. After backing up the system and activating the phone, we first check the original material, then we directly test the front, and this time you'll find the front camera has returned to normal, so the front issue is resolved. We continue to address the screen pop-up issue. Press the volume keys up and down, insert the charger, and enter the diagnostic configuration program. In the diagnostic program, select Simplified Chinese, connect to Wi-Fi, click Agree, and then the phone will wait for initialization. On the computer side, we click Configure. At this time, the phone will configure the battery for itself and sync with Apple's servers. Once the configuration is complete, we turn the phone back on. You'll find the original material functionality of the screen can now be turned on and off. Then look again in About This Device where the screen now indicates genuine Apple parts. The front and rear have both returned to normal, and the flashlight is also functioning normally. Finally, we need to restore the data to the phone's interior. So, tell me in the comments why you think the phone ended up like this. I was too embarrassed to ask the fan, but I believe everyone can guess. Thanks and gratitude to every fan for supporting me. If you like my videos, double tap. If you haven't followed yet, please do.